Welcome to Women Today, the show created by women for women on issues that are important to us. I'm your host, Liz Toll, and I am joined by my co-hosts, good friends, Debbie Shandrick, Lonnie Polite. Very nice to see you both today.
It's great to be here.
Kind of color coordinated. I did not get the memo. Did not get the memo.
It had to be ESP.
You guys,
It was.
you guys look all bright. And you know, I'm looking at your nail polish, and it's making me think cancer awareness, and that's what our show is on today.
Right.
And you know, we've had a great month, and we've had a lot of nice activities out there in the community. We've promoted a lot of them on the show, from the Spooktacular fashion show that we just had for Look Good, Feel Better, to many really activities, to awareness sessions that the Health Alliance has put on, and it's just so important. Especially with women, you know, we take care of everybody else, and we tend to skimp a little bit on our own self-care. And we've got kind of an old friend of Women Today coming back with us. She was on with us last year, Dr. Denise from the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance. She's going to talk to us a little bit today about breast cancer awareness, prevention, and what some of the modalities are, where if you do get a test that's come back not quite negative, what are some of the options that you can take to make sure you're okay? And to, you know, if you need some attention to get it, because, you know, it's very important. And even though we covered this last year, this is something really that women need to think about every year.
Absolutely.
Every year. So we don't hesitate to cover it again. When we get back after the break, it's Dr. Denise from the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance. She's going to talk to us about what you need to do to keep yourself well. It's coming up. Stay with us.
Women Today is produced in cooperation with the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance.
Welcome back to Women Today. Now we have a familiar face back at the table with us. It's Dr. Denise from the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance. Welcome back to Women Today.
Thank you.
And we're thrilled to have you here. We had you here last year. We had a little bit of the same discussion. It's important to really have this discussion and just keep it in the front of our minds.
Yes, very important every year.
So many things to talk about. What are some of the biggest risks that cause breast cancer?
First of all, being a woman, pretty much.
Yeah,
That's
but men do get breast cancer.
They do get breast cancer.
They do.
So then you have to go through the factors that make men get breast cancer. But being a woman is the number one risk, obviously, for getting breast cancer. So you kind of are stuck with the risk, right? Because you cannot prevent not being a woman. And that's the one risk we can't change. So other things that will put you at increased risk are genetic makeup of someone.
So you hear people, if their mothers and their grandmothers, if they have breast cancer,
Yes.
they get checked. And you even hear of some women actually having preventative mastectomies.
Yes,
They have their
correct.
breasts removed.
Correct. So if you are one of these women that has one of these genes that we know will put you at a higher risk of breast cancer, you are a candidate for a prophylactic surgery. So that's another one of the main topics. Having breast cancer in the past obviously always gives you a risk to have breast cancer again. There's a new thing coming up, is having increased dense tissues in your breast. So this is new because now mammograms, since they are more detailed and the softwares are getting better, and we see more where we know that some breasts are definitely more dense, and we know these women have possibly an increased chance of having breast cancer.
So with the increase in technology, you're actually able to see things that you couldn't see before. So
Yes.
it's kind of a good news, bad news, or a bad news, good news, because you
Yes.
might catch things sooner, but then you can
Which is
correct
always
them.
good. Yes, the idea is always to catch things sooner. Sooner, better, better, better.
If you do have dense breasts,
Yes.
routinely you're told that year
Yes.
after year after year.
Yes.
Is it still the mammogram that you should be having, or should
Good
they
question.
be doing?
So some states have it by law now that if you have dense tissues, and the radiologist describes these as extremely dense breast, these women should undergo more testing. Some of them will be having an ultrasound, and some women will actually be even recommended to have an MRI. So we do know that now. It's almost counterintuitive because one of the other risks of having breast cancer is age. The older you are, the increased chance of having breast cancer. So a younger woman will have a denser breast. right? So do they have an increased breast cancer risk? So that's we just need to study more. So
And is the risk greater after menopause?
yes, yes. One of the good things of menopause.
But if you, I'm sorry, I've heard that if you breastfeed, if you're a mother and you
Correct.
breastfeed, that helps
There's-
reduce your risk.
Yes. So anything that will put your breast at an increased influx of hormones will increase your chances of breast cancer, right? Cancer is mostly a regeneration and regeneration and regeneration of cells. So hormones cause us to go through process and processes and processes again. So every time there's a new cell, every time there's a regeneration, there's the chance that cancer may come about. So women that are mostly always pregnant supposedly have a decreased risk of breast cancer. Women that breastfeed have a decreased breast cancer. Women that had menopause earlier because they had less hormonal input will have decreased risk. And women that had menopause, their period late will also have a decreased breast cancer risk. But those are very low. The truth of the matter is the main indicator for breast cancers are age, that we're women, and genetic indicators that we only know very few of, and we need to know more about.
How about smoking?
Yes, every smoking will increase your cancer risk on any level, breast, lung, anything.
So just stop.
Yes.
Just stop. You can do it.
We're encouraged to do breast exams.
Yes.
Is there an proper, improper? Are there?
Yes. So new indications are that you should always get a clinical exam by your doctor after the age of 20. So after the age of 20, you should get clinical exam every 3 years. When you hit 40, you should get a clinical exam every year. Now, breast self-exam is something that is recommended, not a true law anymore, because we know that if you do it wrong, then it doesn't really matter. But what we encourage is for you to be accustomed to your breast, to know what is normal and abnormal for them. What you do all the time is what's normal for you. So if you want to do it every month after your period, perfect. If you want to do it every so often, whenever you feel like, great. We just encourage that you may just do it and not just be oblivious to it. So the best way to do it would be to lay flat, because you want your breast to be laying flat, not perpendicular to the world, just flat. And that way you can press it against your chest wall and know exactly if you're feeling for something or not, rather than if you're standing up, which is really hard to press against something. And another thing you can do is when you are with your doctor, you can show them what you do, and they can actually tell you, yes, you're doing it perfect, or no, you're not doing it well.
But it's really, really, really important to see your doctor.
Very important.
Because you might feel a lump, or you might be naturally lumpy.
Yes.
And you don't know. You don't know the difference. So those annual checkups are really, really important, especially for those of us that are over the age of 40. Critical.
I have many women that say, I've felt a new lump, and I go to palpate and I don't feel the lump that they feel. Because for me, it just feels like a regular lumpy, bumpy breast.
Could be fatty tissue, right?
But of course, it is great that they come and seek that information. And I have the tools to know whether this is something real or not. We can send for tests, we can do a re-examination, we can do other things, but awareness is the most important.
Now, Doc, let's say you find something that you feel is abnormal, or
Yes.
someone has a mammogram, their routine mammogram, which is equally as important, as uncomfortable as it may be for some women. I always feel bad because I don't give them much to work with, but they always manage. But if they have an abnormal mammogram,
Yes.
there are other ways to check before you have to literally cut into somebody
Yes.
to find out what's going on. Tell us about what some of these new modalities are.
So everybody should get pressed after the age of 40, and even if you have little to work with, even men could get pressed if they have something we palpate. So imagine we can press. Abnormals are, we give them grades. The mammograms get grades. So if you are a grade 0, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, we follow you up carefully. If you're a grade 4 or grade 5, those are the people that would want to know more information, which is they're showing something that's definitely not normal. The standard should be to do a core biopsy of these tissues. Because I'm not Superman and nobody is, you can't see through tissues. You use imaging to help you go to the target area. There's stereotactic biopsy, where you lay prone on a table and we, with the help of mammogram, get to the area that's important. Or there is ultrasound biopsy, where just the same as when you get an ultrasound for a baby, we put it instead in your breast and we get to see the area that we want. And then we numb the area, put a very big needle in and take a piece out.
But you're numbed.
But you're numbed. And the incision is less than 2 millimeters big rather than having surgery. That's the standard. If something comes back abnormal, then we can develop a plan to have surgery or to send you to a breast center or to go somewhere else where you can get the best care.
But I guess the most important thing is, 'cause we're almost out of time, the most important thing is to have a good relationship with your doctor.
Yes.
And if you have any question or you think something is not right, get it checked in the meantime, but always follow up on those regular exams. And we've got great doctors. I always say we are so fortunate to have doctors like yourself, your husband, the Health Alliance, just top notch right here in our area. We're out of time. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
being on with us once again.
Thank you for
Before you
having me.
leave, don't forget we've got some gorgeous tie-dyed roses for you from Smilex Florist. Bart gives them to us for all of our guests, so bring those home and make sure you tell your husband that we gave them to you so he doesn't get upset. Dr. Denise, thank you very much for being on with us once again. You're watching Women Today only on WYLN. When we get back after the break, we're going to do some cooking with Kathy. It's courtesy of Fritzinger Community Living, and it is after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Women Today, and now it's time for some cooking with Kathy, brought to us by Fritzinger Senior Living Community in Drums. We thank them so much for sponsoring this segment. Really good food there.
Yes.
Looks like we've got some good food here.
And it smells great.
It smells
does.
great, and I actually know how to cook this, so I'm
Yes.
impressed with myself. Kath, what do you got for us
well,
today?
Well, I'm talking about seasonal foods today, and this is pumpkin season. So I wanted to talk about getting our kids to eat and letting them play with their food. And I'm going to start with these little Jack B. Little pumpkins. What I did was I roasted them in the oven for a half hour, and then when they were smooth and palatable, I took them out of the oven and I took their insides out. Now inside of this I have a pumpkin bisque. Inside of this little pumpkin I have a risotto. And
Love it.
Aren't they
I
wonderful?
use the fresh sage. I think sage goes really good with pumpkins. And we tested out on one of our little friends, and our little 4-year-old ate that because we allowed him to play with his food.
I'll give you $5 if you get my kid who's on the set tonight to eat that.
Okay. All right, we're gonna see.
Maybe for you he will, though.
I don't
Maybe
know.
for Kathy he
I don't
might.
know, but I did a lot with the pumpkin. It's a very healthy dish. A lot of these things are fat-free. This is a pumpkin bisque,
That
and what I
looks so
did
It
was
does look
I
great,
took
too.
butternut squash and onions and garlic and roasted it in the oven, a high heat roast. Then I took it out of the oven and pureed it, put a little bit of sage in there, and one of my secrets is to use poultry seasoning. And that has like all of those flavors.
those
that-
turkey
Right,
flavors,
and
yeah.
that goes in the soup too, and that really makes it very flavorful.
Delish.
So you mix those vegetables with a little bit of, you can use a little bit of vegetable broth, or you can use some chicken broth, and you have yourself a nice fat-free, flavorful soup.
Love it.
Looks great.
My next fat-free entree is spaghetti squash. Now this looks like spaghetti, but it's squash, and what I did was I roasted it in the oven, and this is what it looks like. And what you do is you start to take the insides out, and you can see it looks very fibrous, and it looks like spaghetti. Now, this is a wonderful vegetable that you can put spaghetti sauce on and cheese on, and you can have that. It's a gluten-free spaghetti.
Love it.
Okay, yeah. And you can add butter to it if you want. I like it with butter.
How
But
long do you roast it?
well, you roast it until it's fork tender. I don't know, how long it'll take. It depends on the size of the pumpkin, and but it's easy to do, and it's a good way to get some vegetables into your kid.
Now I'm hungry. Now I'm hungry. I love spaghetti squash. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much. Beautiful presentation. I mean, you never ever do anything halfway. It's always like, all the way, and you make it so easy.
Thank you,
So
Liz.
thank you so much for being here with
My
us.
pleasure.
It's such a
Thank you.
treat, always. You're watching Women Today. When we get back after the break, we're going to take time now to pause with Virginia Jane, brought to you by Kathleen's Collectibles and Drums. After that, we're going to find out who's going on the ghost hunt, and we've got another great giveaway from Robert Stevens Face and Body. It's all about breast cancer prevention and treatment, and it's coming up, all of it on Women Today. Stay with us. Welcome back to Women Today, and now it's time to pause with Virginia Jane and Dr. Kathleen Benyo, and somebody's taking a break here.
Oh, well, she's a little depressed today.
Why is that, Kathleen?
Well, just like we have to go for our annual exams and our annual checkups, so does she. And so just this past week, she went for her annual checkup, and she has to go on a diet.
Don't we all?
Oh, well,
Not
that's
you,
what I
me.
mean.
We're
It's
just
the
talking
same
about
thing.
that.
Just like with people, the dogs have to go. Yes, you do have to go on a diet.
Oh, she doesn't like it.
No, not at all. But it affects their bones, and it affects their heart, just like it does for people. And we have to keep that in mind. The same thing, she got her inoculations, and we have to remember to take our immunizations and whatever we need to stay healthy. It's important to keep your pet healthy too. Rabies, we don't want there to be any problem with that. And distemper used to be a big problem with dogs, and now it's hardly ever heard about because we are able to give the dogs a little injection, and she was so good she didn't even notice it.
I'm sure. She's
So-
always so well behaved.
She did real well. The only other bad news we got was that she's getting cataracts.
Oh, my.
And again, that happens to everybody. I guess it happens to a lot of us as
My
we
Goldie
get older.
the same. My Golden, the older dog. But you make a good point, and that's as it's important for us ladies to make sure that we get our physicals and get our checkups and be diligent about taking care of ourselves.
Yes.
These little creatures are important too, and people may get the impression that they're just an animal. We have a real responsibility. If you take one of these lovely creatures into your home, you've got to take care of them.
That's
you've got to
right.
keep up with it.
That's absolutely right. So she's all set now, and she's mainly because she has to go to a kennel for a couple days, which she's thrilled about that too.
Oh, she
Yes,
doesn't like
yes.
that. She doesn't like being away from you.
No, but she'll be fine,
Well,
and we won't miss a show.
well, we're glad to hear that. So we will see you, Missy. No more eating stuff that's not good for you. And Dr. Kathleen Benyo, thank you very much for
Thank
for
you.
your advice with us today. You're watching Women Today only on WYLN. When we come back after the break, it's Deb Shandrick's favorite time. It's giveaway. You're going to find out who is going on a ghost hunt with the Ghost Detectives. We got another great giveaway today. Stay with us. We're back after the break. AM19 delivers Wi-Fi traffic for the busy woman today. Call Angela for all your dry cleaning needs. Free pickup and delivery, competitive pricing, fast, friendly service. Why struggle? AM19 delivers is the official dry cleaning service of Women Today. Welcome back to Women Today, and it's our giveaway time of the show. You know what you need to do if you want to get one of these great prizes. You got to like us on Facebook. You got to call us, email us. Ms. Shandrick, somebody's going And how cool is this going to be on a ghost
ghost
hunt with
hunt.
ghost detectives? They might even
Scary.
be on TV.
Very scary.
Scary, for real?
Yes.
Who's going?
Christy Soroka Lash.
Christy Soroka Lash. And how did she
Yes,
find
she
her way
liked
to
us
us?
on
She liked us
Facebook.
on Facebook. I hope she's a very brave girl. Actually, I think she's a very brave
Is
girl. Something tells me she's a very brave girl, and I think she's going to have a blast. So that's stunning. That's absolutely wonderful. And that's courtesy, once again, from Ghost Detectives. Now, what are we giving away? And thank you, because I know this is from Robert Stevens, Face and Body, and you're always just doing great stuff for women and awareness. Tell me what you brought for us today.
This is from Jane Iredale. It's mineral eyeshadows. It's Our Bright Future. What Jane does every year is she picks an item, or sometimes in this case, she creates something, and all of the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, go toward breast cancer awareness
them.
and
That's
prevention.
great.
All of them.
Yes, and it's a sale that goes
Amazing.
on all year long. So we have them at Robert Stevens, and it's 5 beautiful shades of eyeshadow, eyeliner. It comes with a great little brush. It's really
Very
nice.
cool.
And in the past 5 years, Jane Iredale and all of those of us that sell the product have donated $250,000.
Wonderful,
So
wonderful,
it's like a
wonderful.
nice-
That's tremendous. It makes a
wonderful.
difference. Every bit, piece makes a difference, and it's a
does.
beautiful, beautiful item.
is.
Thank you very much. So you know what you need to do if you want to get one of these. You can like us on Facebook, give us a call. You have this at the salon as
We
well.
do, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Our businesswoman of the week. This is brought to us this week by
By
Carmen's
Carmen's
Bakery and
Bakery.
Deli, and of course by our lovely, lovely ladies at Fallon's. Just beautiful women, a beautiful gift. Everybody is loving this. That's getting this. That we're bringing this
know,
to.
everybody's
I am
happy.
just hoping my guys are gonna like find one into my stocking because I just love them. Lonnie, who's gonna get this week?
A very special person, Lori Reese. And Lori was nominated by her mother, Gail Bradley. And I just want to read a little bit about her to let you know some of the things that she's done. Her mother, Gail, said, "My daughter is to me an amazing businesswoman. If you call being a nurse a businesswoman." She went back to college at the age of 42 while holding down a full-time job and also a part-time job while still being a great mom to 2 teenage daughters. She had to make many sacrifices while attending school and studying sometime into the wee hours of the morning. Many tears were shed and she had many anxious moments, but she is now a full-time RN, and I am so proud of this amazing young woman.
That is
So,
wonderful, and you know, I would definitely call, being a nurse, being a businesswoman. I'll
That
tell
is-
you what,
that is sweet.
and by juggling and taking care of your children and going to school, and I would absolutely say this is a most deserving
Absolutely.
woman. So congratulations to her. We're going to be giving her a call and giving her mom a call, and she'll be getting our gift. And you know what you need to do? If you know one of these wonderful businesswomen, please give us a call. Email me, ltolan@wyllntv.com, Facebook us. Let us know about these ladies because there's just so many of them out there. We're just having so much fun finding them through the show. We're almost out of time. It's been a busy show. It's been a great show. I love Dr. Denise. She's just a riot. She's really a riot. And she's so smart. She's so smart. Next week, we have another one of our great professionals from the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance. We're going to be talking about emergency care for kids. This is important.
Yes.
You want to watch this show. As a mother of 3, I think I've experienced almost all of them. Don't want to experience any more, but we're going to get some really great advice from one of our
Right.
great professionals from the Health Alliance. Ladies, thank you so much for being
Thank
here
you.
again this week. Thank you for being here again this week, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time on Women Today.